Welcome to the live, y'all. Happy Saturday, Saturn Day, or whenever you're watching. Go ahead and tap in and dive into some updates around divine connections, divine unions for those that do occur. All right. So I do understand the sometimes just the discouragement around this topic. I've been called my home microphone for divine unions. Call me to this, not for the sake of causing a distraction for others, in the right. Let me know. Okay. All right. All right. Hopefully everything is okay. I'm praying. I'm praying that this is live. Okay, no interferences. We cover this live. Hey Kyla. So yeah, let's get into it, you guys. Like I said, please, if y'all could do your diligence, like if the sound goes out or the connection, like please let me know. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to just be talking and then all of a sudden the sound goes out or something or the screen pauses. So please let me know if there's an issue. Um, so I want to dive into some of these insights and these updates that I do have first, and then of course I'm gonna pull cards. So you don't want to miss any part of this live, y'all. Do not skip just to watch cards being pulled and stuff because I've channeled a lot of information and guidance. So let's not just solely just lean on the cards for everything. It's just a navigation tool. So um I want to talk about divine unions and love. It's been a while since I've actually tapped in. Y'all know, like, if you've been on my channel long enough, you know that's how I started um, talking about divine unions and connections. So we're talking about love not from a standpoint of distraction, because love itself is really a foundation. So we're talking deeper than just like romantic love and things like that. Okay. So what spirit wants me to lay out for you guys, just when two people align in spirit, it holds, it heals. Okay. It heals more than just two people in that relationship's energy. It heals family dynamics, it heals the community, it breaks generational cycles. It facilitates or helps build legacies. Okay, at least the unions that we talking about, we tapping into. So I know what it's like, to feel like this energy sometimes is pointless. Like there's been times where spirit has called me to talk about love throughout the years where I'm just not in the space, or I feel like I'm not in the space too because of my own situations. I'm just like, why will you want me to carry this message? Why be the voice of something when you're not in a union yet, or something, your love life is just, but spirit like got me all the way together, and we're going to get into those shifts that I'm picking up that I feel like a lot of us can relate to. So whatever part of your journey, whether you are completely single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're aligning with one, or you're with your divine counterpart, or you believe, like whatever point you fall into in your journey, I pray that this message will reach those who it's meant to. um so yeah, I've been there where I feel like sometimes this whole thing is pointless, it's annoying, I don't want to talk about it at times, I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to think about it. But I know that there's other people out there that need the guidance. Some people might be giving up hope, not understanding that this is bigger than just romance and self. Those that feel called to divine unions, um, that have a purposeful in it. So every time that I wanted to quit and not talk about this shit at all, spirit just reminded me that healing and love is not a luxury. It's definitely a necessity, especially for the next generation. So love is not a distraction from life. It shouldn't be, although it can be for some people, but that's not what we're doing here. Um, Love really itself is power. It's a source for life. And again, for healthy, healthy aligned unions that will produce healthy children, if that's what you're called to on your journey, healthy communities, healthy legacies. So that's also why divine unions get attacked so much, and why you personally get attacked at times as well, especially when you're doing work within yourself to be a better person, a better human, not just for yourself, but for those around you, or if you plan on having children, or you believe that you're called to be a mother or father someday, right? So that's why God keeps putting this on my heart to speak. This mission is really to guide and encourage those on the path to divine partnership through prophecy, spiritual alignments, and just having like honest conversations about the waiting period, the healing process, and the becoming of you as yourself. So this isn't about fairy tales or none of that. This is about purpose and alignment, and preparing for the kind of love that will not only transform you in your life, but the world around you. Okay, so we're gonna tap in, we're gonna get into it, but first I would like to um I want to get into the downloads that I channeled. I did write them down, so I have some notes that I am going to um, tap in. So we're gonna get into the notes um, before we get started. All right, let me see. Where's the timestamp? I like to timestamp these things. So the updates that I was picking up on, that I was channeling, um, the distance, like what's happening right now for a lot of people, the distance of the toxic and bare minimal connections, or I should say rather attachments, is a movement within itself. So as these women and men, they are the forerunners, and spirit gave me the word specifically forerunner runner, and then I heard foretellers. They're foretellers of the paths that others will soon follow. Some, it may feel as though they have no choice but to follow this path. So what I feel like spirit is saying with that is that a lot of people are swaying, are kind of moving away from toxic relationships and just taking on the bare minimum. So you might see a lot of content, and some of the content can be a little bit distorted and a little coming from a wounded, kind of bitter place, a lack of spiritual connectivity. It's like this whole thing like there's no good men out there, there's no good women are all like this, or if only women submit and do it like this and get back to the old ways, basically slaving away, or men are disposable, they're all gay, quote unquote, they're this, they're that. Like you see a lot of that content, but then there's a healthy side to it where people are choosing to protect themselves emotionally through protecting their peace, their bodies, not just sleeping and getting involved with just any person, but actually wanting to date intentionally. So I feel like some people are still dating in that toxic, like if you think of a pond, right? A pond that's really dirty. And make sure y'all like this video if it really genuinely is healing, is hitting on something for you, or you feel like it's resonating or could resonate for someone else, send it to them as well. But I'm getting like this pool, let's say like a fish pond that's dirty, right? And some people have stepped out of that pond and decided to move in calmer, clear, clean waters and do the healing work, cleanse themselves, take accountability, like really deal with themselves, versus those that still trying to swim and dip their feet in this dirty ass pond and wondering why it's not getting any cleaner. So some people will be kind of forced into removing themselves out of toxic, bare minimal type of attachments. They're not connections, they're attachments. Being attached to something or someone being attached to you, it's not a healthy type of vibe. Spirit is saying that intentional connections are more about alignment, um, and honor, not just of yourself, not just honoring yourself, but your future and that of others. So whether that's your generations, whether that's other humans' hearts, minds, souls, and bodies. So no more initiating connections based off of trauma, nor inflicting trauma upon each other. So you have to think of it this way. This is what I move in this energy myself, and I encourage other people to as well. If you know within yourself that you are not in a healthy space to be dating somebody, um, you're not only just protecting your own well-being and like, taking your time out to work through what you need to, but instead of being selfish and saying, well, I'm lonely, I just want somebody, and you get in a relationship with someone and you pour that toxicity onto another person. Some people might not inflict trauma intentionally on people. Some people are not even aware that they do. But for those that do inflict trauma any way it goes, whether it's intentional or not, if you think about it from this way, like a person that was toxic towards you and really fucked with your heart and your mind, the effects of that on a person's well-being, not just like when you think about what happened to you and you go, oh, that was so shitty, that hurt my feelings and I don't trust nobody, but how it blocks you in life. I can go deep in this, and I'm going to not go too deep. I feel like that's going to take too much time, but how selfish it is to inflict pain on other people, and being putting yourself in a position to have trauma inflicted on you by dating the person that's not for you, that does not have good intentions, just because, or keeping yourself in a toxic dynamic. And people that have children, for sure, you got to think about your actions. You got to not just think about you and what you want. That's selfish, because many people have put their children in circumstances that they have no business, whether they witnessed things that they should have not witnessed, heard things that they shouldn't have, or been exposed or harmed themselves due to their mother or father's bad choices in relationships and bad decisions. So, and that also carries on more generational trauma and cycles on that child. It would open doors to other things. So you have to not just think about you, right? um Another thing that spirit was saying as well is that, you know not to be selfish, no more selfishly dating. Okay, union is about unity. If you think about the word union and when you break that down, it really represents becoming one, meaning becoming unified. So when you think about the you in unity, that's yourself, right? You. The N represents and someone else being included, and the I, you and I, on meaning one. You and I becoming one. We become unified. That's what union really is. A lot of people, and spirit got me on this too, when we just think about how we want to be fulfilled in a relationship and thinking about how good it's going to feel to be with somebody and someone to love us, to choose us, to desire us, you know, the romantic element is where people get stuck. They focus on the romantic aspect of love and not love as a whole, as a unification, as a space, or a place, a threshold for healing. How another person, a whole nother being, they have feelings too, they have wants and needs too, they have desires too, they have dreams too, they have fears, they have pain. You have to consider them as well, and they have to consider you. It has to be a unification, and not just between two people, but when you include other people in it as well, whether that's family, friends, community, like whatever you got going on. So yeah, I also want to talk about like the woundedness before we get into the reading, because all of this is just like, these are my channel downloads I wanted to share. So please be respectful, y'all, of that, because I know like some people just want to, they're just stuck on the cards, child. They just show me the cards, bitch. Just show me the cards. Um, but Spirit was like bringing to my attention how there's a like the broken side of like where women sometimes like how we perceive love from this broken place. I was guided. I probably wouldn't have. I heard about it. I heard about it on social media, like this new movie that came out with the girl from Empire, and I was like, I heard the whole Ruth and Boaz. I've watched Ruth and Boaz type movies, like modern versions of the Bible, the biblical story of Ruth and Boaz, And I was like, whatever. And last night, me and my daughter were looking for like horror movies to watch on Netflix. And I came across it and I was like, oh, it looks kind of cute. And I passed it again. But this morning, I just felt guided to watch it. So I went ahead and watched it. And I actually really liked it. It was very healing, I will say. I found myself like working through trauma even as I was watching it, like working through some beliefs around love and like, oh, this is so cringy. Oh, this is so corny. Like certain parts of it, I had to work through that. Um, so as I was channeling this message and I was like documenting and writing everything that I was getting, spirit brought me to like again the movie and like Ruth's energy. I'm not going to give away the movie too much, but in the movie she dealt with a lot of trauma around abandonment, fear, and unworthiness, whereas Boaz, his energy represented like this protection, kindness. He was patient with her. He was compassionate. He was very open as well, like emotionally open. Um, and then Felicia Rashad, she plays Naomi in the story. And Naomi to me represented like that wisdom. She was kind of stern, but it's like in a way that you need. Like it reminded me of Divine Mother energy. So her energy did bring that. And there was an antagonist in the movie, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but it was like a guy that Ruth was working with in production, like she was a part of a music group or whatever. And he was like, um stalking her to like come back because she escaped. I don't want to give away too much of the money, the money, much too much of the movie, but he was an antagonist, which I feel like represents the enemy, and how the enemy will put you in a place of fear, put you in a place of like thinking that you're unworthy, that you'll never be able to do better, that you can't have love. And what it was showing me is that women who are broken, they're taught that love, pure love is something that's impossible. It's not realistic, almost in a way that it's corny, that no man on this planet has the capability within their heart to even move in pure love, which is crazy, because this is where I feel like people lack spiritual connectivity. They don't know what real love is outside of just looking for a man or someone outside of them to validate them, when they have not found that energy within themselves and that connectivity with their creator or higher source power that like that is connected to self, right? Or you find that energy within self. So it's like you believe that no human being on this planet has, or a man has no capacity to have pure love in their heart, is ludicrous. It's crazy. Um, and sometimes I challenge myself in this because I'm like, deep down inside, I know that it's not true, that no man can. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm not going to continue until I know. Okay. That was weird. It's always like every time I'm like hitting on something, and that's probably so that people will be discouraged and not watch. Um, or to like annoy me to not even talk. But um I know that it's not true, right? To believe that a person does not have the capacity to love from a pure-hearted place is to say that that energy does not exist, right? I don't believe that every man is just so terrible that they don't have pure love in their heart. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I've come across content creators that talk about men and women relationships, and they like really hone in on this thing that all men are just like some spawns of Satan, basically. And I don't believe that. I feel like there's that's the enemy and that's the attack. They show you on TV and media that every man is this way, and of course it's going to discourage women. And you have, yes, you have degenerate men in this world that do genuinely do not have love in their hearts. They don't love themselves. Let's start with that. And this is where the spiritual connectivity comes in at, or the lack thereof, where people do not have a pure connection with spirit and source God, or love for themselves, therefore they cannot love their fellow human, right? They cannot love each other. So what you have all day in the media and music is bitches and hoes, this and that, and I got this many bitches and hoes, and you ain't nothing but this and that, and oh, get the man's money, trick, all that type of stuff, or just like things in the media, such as women being unalived by their partners and their children being unalived by their partners and exes, and men on the street harming women. You can't sit on a bus without, like, that's propaganda. But yes, it also is spiritual. There is spiritual attacks. Yes. And I feel like that is not the majority. That's not the whole. That is showing you the degenerates. That's showing you the demonic nature of some people. That does not mean that every person or every man or woman is just this terrible person. So if that's majority of what you see, what you experience, you have to keep in mind that men, and this is not an excuse, but you got to look at the nature. Men by nature are not the most emotional creatures. They do not operate emotionally the same way that women do, right? It's not in their genetic makeup. So when it comes to healing, when it comes to dealing with their emotions and crying and really sitting with that and being open and vulnerability, that's not their first go-to, especially if some men are already naturally in tune with their emotions. And the first thing they hear is they're a punk, they're a sissy, they're this, they're that, pump up your chest, like, what you doing? That trauma inflicted of, I can't share emotion. You know what I mean? So, as a woman, how hard it is sometimes to go within yourself and really face yourself and deal with your pain and your trauma, your fears, your insecurities, what has happened to you. But we're more open to healing. And it's not to say that men aren't, but it's like, it's more receptible for women to hold space for themselves to cry. And I feel, um, depending on what culture you come from, a lot of Black culture, we're taught that therapy is weak. That is for quote unquote white people. We don't go to therapy. You're being weak. Toughen up. And Black women have this stigma of always being the strong one and able to just take on so much and take on pain, that your pain gets ignored sometimes. Or if you express or lash out, you're an angry Black woman, right? So there's that, almost that acceptance of pain. Like, I got to go through the ride or die story with my man. I got to hold it down, even though I'm being harmed in the process. Like, that is also generational cycles that need to be broken. And I feel like it is being broken. Right. So for the broken women that you're taught that pure love is not something that's realistic, or it's impossible, it's not something that you can have, or it's not realistic, that's a fairy tale, that's weak shit, um you're taught that men are disposable. To be held means like you're weak, you're looking for a daddy, you're looking for a savior. And while this can be true in some cases, especially for people that are wounded in that sense, where they're looking for their partners to be their savior, to be their foundation of joy and happiness and validation, and to feel chosen and picked. Healthy love, when you're really truly held by a man that loves you, that is a sign of love, respect, and reverence there. That man has love, respect, and reverence for God, for the divine mother, to be able to say, I choose to show up and love your daughters. As a son, I respect womanhood, I respect mothers, I respect the mother. Right. So to say that that's unrealistic and that's simp shit, and that's because people have a disconnection with their mother. Like, if you really tap into a man's relationship with their mother, it tells you a whole lot why they view women and treat women the way that they do, why they operate the way that they do in relationships. Some men, they seek validation from women because their mother was never that for them. That's some effect that some men have. Whereas there's other men that seek to destroy women because that relationship they have with their mother. Some of them are drawn to toxic feminines because they dealt with narcissistic mothers, right? Toxic women, and they think that that's normal. Where some might resent that. Some might even resent the mother that was not as self-honoring, that may have been stomped all over or abused by men in their experience. So it's like they're trained to respond that way. You can tell a whole lot when a man does not respect women in general. Like, I always say this, you know that that man is a real good man when he can treat women with respect or is nice to women even when he's not attracted to her. Because like most men are attracted to women or are only nice to women that they feel like they can get something out of or that they're attracted to. They have to be sexually attracted to you to even see you as human, which is like so sick. Like that's just disgusting. Like, and you'd be surprised, like most men do not respect women in a way like outside of desirability. If you're not someone that I could get something out of, or you're not attractive, somebody that I would want to sleep with, I don't see value in you. I don't feel the need to be a gentleman or respectful or hold the door open for you or just be a common nice person to you. Just be generally kind to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that you should just put up with disrespect from women. That's not what I'm saying. But if you see a woman that's in trouble or you see a woman that's in need, and because you don't want to sleep with her and you just turn your cheek and just turn your head, or that's not my mom, that's not my sister, that's not my auntie, like where's the humanity in people? You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell a lot by a man by the way he treats women, by the way he treats people in general, what type of motherfucker he is, what type of character does he have? Because men will play nice when they want something and when they're attracted to you. But if you know that that person inherently is not a kind individual to just people in general, it tells a lot about their character. Like that would save you a lot of trouble with opening your legs to motherfuckers, because women that lack self-respect, I'm going to get on y'all too. Okay. I'm kind of getting off topic, but I'm going to jump back into the channel message I was getting, and then we'll get into the reading. But a lot of women that do not value themselves, do not love themselves, and they put a lot of stock on a partner wanting them and choosing them. That's where the pick me nature comes in at, where I will sell out my family, my friends, whatever, my children, just so I can keep this one man, because you don't value yourself. And therefore, you're going to choose men that do not respect women because you feel like, oh, if he's talking, I'm going to use Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug, for example. I don't know them personally, but just going off of that dynamic, you over here cheesing and giggling, kikiing. This is a woman that you were on stage with, doing music with, but like you get a kick out of hearing your man tear her down because something in you does not feel worthy unless you're chosen. And so hearing a man tear down another woman feels good to you. Instead of saying, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about your ex. I don't want to hear you talking shit about another woman. Oh, like you got to question why men do that, because they think that's what you want to hear too, to make you feel secure. And oftentimes when men do that, they're trying to get you to stop sniffing off their track that that's really the bitch they want. That they really want her, or they messed around with her, or they've still got feelings for her. Like, why are you talking about this other woman? Like, why is she even on your tip of your tongue? So that right there, like women that choose men like that says a lot about her too, right? And we could probably all attest to that. When you don't love yourself, you seek that validation from that partner so much so that at the expense of this person, like to think that they're not going to do it to you, which Mariah the Scientist, she got to taste her own medicine. I don't know if that phone call was real or fake with the other woman that he was supposedly cheating on her with, but he did have somebody visiting him while he was in jail. Like they'll play in your face and pretend like you're that one, but they're going to treat, it's just like the same thing with people that talk shit about other people. Don't think that you're exempt from that. That's that person's character that's in them. So they're not loyal to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So to think that, oh, because he's talking about how terrible his ex was and how he doesn't like this type of women and this, you got to pay attention to that. Okay. Um, a good man is rare in a sense, yes, because many of our men are broken. Okay. Like I said, many refuse to grow um, at the levels of healing that they need in order to break through or tap into their heart space, which is why when a heart centered woman comes in a man's life, their path, they'll either run from her or they're going to hurt her. Some hearts, I feel like some men's hearts, they get tapped when spirit is trying to accelerate their healing process, their inner work. Like some of them may not be ready to face certain levels of healing. So I truly believe that God will send women to start the process for them where they may not be ready to do it on their own, like just tap into that, take that accountability to do it. And sometimes it does take the perception of losing or missing out on someone in order to sit your ass down and humble yourself and take accountability. So, you know, some men, they'll find out later in life, damn, that was a good one. Why did I do that? Sometimes you need that to sit with yourself and look at your wounds. I feel like mature men, or when they get to a place of maturity within themselves, they start to look at how harmful their behaviors are. And I feel like just even mature women, when you get to a certain place within yourself where you start being conscious of your actions and how you treat people, how you treat yourself. So a lot of times men will come to find out that the way that I was raised plays a lot of roles in my dating choices and situations, or how I've treated women, things like that. Like they'll sit with themselves and take accountability. Not every man will do this, but women are the original creatrix of this world, of this universe. They are the ones that birth energy into existence. So therefore, they will always be great catalysts, period. Always be great catalysts to awaken people in general, not just men or love or relationships, but just in general. Women are some of the greatest catalysts in life. So those who choose to date, connect, form relationships of any kind, not just romantic ones, but form relationships from a healthy, integritous, or intentionality, will always win in love. You're going to win in love when you move with pure intent, with clarity, with integrity, from a healthy place, you know? Um, because it's like when you're not quick to just go down every path that life gives you, everything that's handed to you, or you're not enticed by this being dangled in front of you and that being dangled, or someone pressuring you, your your focus, it's easier for you to focus to accomplish what, or with what you're aligned with, or where you're aligned to go, without those distractions, because the timelines of men are also distractions, because they pressure you or they tempt you out of alignment, saying things like, you should be married by 30. You should have kids by 30. You should be this type of man or woman to be deserving of love. You're not normal if you're not fucking everything in sight. Or, you know, it's like whatever this man-made structure of timelines and what you should or how you should be and live your life in this hurry up and buy vibe. Like hurry up, like just, those are distractions. Like I said, they tempt you out of alignment. So alignment pretty much is just, it represents an appropriate relative position, meaning something that is suitable or proper, a proper place where someone or something is located. Located being something that's a situate, like it's a fixed or a place of build or building, which is just a place that's secure and maybe stronger and maybe even strongly, more intense. So when you're in that position that is secure, it is built on a strong foundation, and it's relative or in connection to the state of where you are. So meaning like where you are versus where you need to be. People feel like alignment sometimes has to be what you think is perfection. I'm not ready yet. I gotta be a size 3, a size 7, or whatever to get love. I gotta have $1 million to have the woman of my dreams and things like that. Like those are perceptions. They're not totally reality. They're not based off of the appropriate position of your life. Alignment is like you are exactly where you're supposed to be, where you're at in time. How do you know that? Because when you're trying to fight against the machine of time, you're going to be met with resistance. So, spirit led me to planetary alignment. Because when you think about the planets, right? The planets, they orbit, they do their own shit. They vibing, they flow, they go, right? Wherever. But when multiple planets start to appear in this visible line, sometimes it's in an arc, that that's perfect alignment. It's like all these different components all these different types of energies, and they come into this perfect just line. So again, when you focus on your own energy, where you're flowing and where you're meant to go, whatever else is in relation and connected to that place that you are, it will perfectly align when it's meant to. So like we try to rush, we try to force and control. Like genuine love does not work like that. Divine connections are never forged. That's why I always tell people, just live your fucking life in a way that is what you feel aligned with, not based off of ego and like, oh, I'm horny, let me just find somebody. Oh, I'm so lonely, when am I going to meet someone? And you're moving out of that type of energy. You're not moving in a clear-sighted energy of saying, I feel led to do this. Like, because I explain it in this way. Oftentimes, like when you meet people in life, whether these are long life connections, friendships, divine connections, unions, marriages, whatever, you meet them like what feels like spontaneous energy, which feels like serendipity, but it's just alignment. You're not forging something. Anytime you force something, it's like, how many times in life have you showed up or did something or shown up in a particular place or thought that something was going to go one way, but it unfolded very differently, and oftentimes unfolded in a way that you needed it to, or that was better than what you thought in mind. And yes, we can create blockages in life. We can create bad experiences based off of our own energy and our own perception. But when you think that you're just going to a concert just to have fun, and you might end up meeting somebody that becomes your best friend for life, you weren't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with love, divine unions. They will come across in your path when it's meant. You may not be the perfect shape or size that you think you're supposed to be. You may not be financially ready like you think you should be. You might think, oh, I need a little bit more time to myself. I'm not ready for love yet. But if it's in alignment, it's going to happen. So you can't forge it. You can date as many motherfuckers on a dating app as you want. That may not be where your husband or wife exists. That may not be the time or the place where you're meant to meet. So forging it, and it takes off that pressure. Like, be present and just do your life as you're in the flow of your life. The only way that we can really block our blessings is when we get in our own way. Block divine time when we get in our own way. When we think that we're unworthy, or when we think we're not ready, or we're too much, or living in fear, or still living out patterns and things that we should be healing. Like, people wonder why they can't find love, and they think, if I just date a little bit more, if I just do my hair a little bit differently, if I lose some weight, if I get some surgery, if I make this money, if I'm this or that, that will find me. No. That's just repetitive cycles of trauma. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it's going to work. It's not going to happen that way. All right, let's get into the reading. And I need my timestamp. We're at, I think that's 49, but let me see. Let's see if it changes to 50. Actually, that's 41. Okay. All right, we're 41 minutes in. Damn. Okay. All right, so before we get started, I like to pray over my readings. Before we get started, okay. Most High, Divine Source Spirit, Holy Spirit, my ancestors who walk in love and light, Divine Wise High Council, our angels, our guides, I ask for divine covering and protection. We call on you now to guide this message, guide my hands, guide my eyes, my spiritual eyes, guide my heart, my lips, my words, my tongue be guided in alignment with divine truth. As I pull these cards, let me see not through any longing or fear, through illusions, through deceptions, false prophecies, nor through desperations, projections, illusions, but through divine truth and clear discernment. Spirit, reveal the truth of divine unions Reveal the truth for those who are meant to see it whenever, whatever space and timeline they come across this message. Not what we see with our wounds, not through the enemy's lies, projections, and not what we wish to see, but the energy that truly is what is. Okay? Any person in question, if anyone's questioning a man or woman in their heart spirit, reveal the spirit of this man or woman as they truly are, not what we want to see or not what this person shows the world, not what we wish them to be, but the energy that they carry, the path that they truly walk. If they're in alignment with this person's destiny, people in question, confirm it with clarity. If they are not, give them the strength to release this person with grace. And may we never settle for less than the sacred partnership that you have written for us. And so it is, and so shall it be. Amen. Ashe. All right. So y'all ready? Are y'all ready? I do have my one of my popular readings is my divine partnership reading. It is currently on sale right now. The link is in the chat, but I will leave it in the comments as well as in the description. If anyone is interested, you can be in any space and timeline within divine union. You don't have to be with someone. You could have someone in mind. You could be wanting to be in alignment. You can already be in connection or union or perceive, maybe, you know, wherever stage you are in, it's meant to help and assist you. So all right, so what is the message, Spirit? The Lovers. Interesting. The Knight of Swords with Justice. Okay. Oh, damn. I'm gonna hold on to this because I feel like this is a separate. I'm gonna hold on to that real quick. We'll come back to him. Wow. Five of Wands. Five of Swords. Six of Pentacles. Okay. Three of Swords and the Sun. Okay. All right. This last card or so or two, I'm going to leave hidden for now. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. We have counterparts already. We start off with the King and Queen of Swords. So there is something with communication of the souls, of spirit. It could be spiritual communication such as telepathy, dreams, okay? Music, something with the air. So anything pertaining to Mercury energy. So I want to say, yeah, communication of the air could be social media, music, something with technology being fucked with. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but like, let's say for instance, a song just comes on and you didn't have your apps open, Spotify's or Apple Music or something. You don't have that open and it just plays a song. Or someone's alarm goes off at the right time and you look at the clock and it's like something that's synchronistic or aligned, something with the air and Mercury. Social media, yeah, anything with your technologies, phones, TVs, maybe even alarm clocks, alarm systems, navigation systems, something where it requires air or requires the internet to be connected. The first thing that came to me with the King of Swords is that there's a protective energy. So this can represent a guardian angel that is over your connection. Some of you guys may resonate with Archangel Michael. some sort of higher order or high ranking spiritual being that protects your connection or your union. You may even feel like, some of you that are the feminine, you may feel like your person's energy protects you, which it may very well be. You have Excalibur's companion as the Queen of Swords and Guardians of Angels or Guardian of Angels. This is someone that walks with you in your divine counterpart, I feel like. The Excalibur's companion um, can also represent both of you protect each other's energy and maybe in the spirit realm. Not sure in what way, but where did she come from? She came over here. Okay. So we start out with the lovers. We start out with the motherfucking lovers. There's something with Libra season as well that could be significant when it comes to your unions. Some of you guys are going to, yeah, spirit is really dealing with, yeah, spirit's really dealing with a lot of people. It's almost like accelerating the process of healing. Whatever it is, it's like it's time sensitive. Like, we don't have time to fuck around or still hold on to the things that we need to let go of. So some of this is severing of connections as well that need to go of any capacity. With the lovers card being here, the wound, I feel it's like you have a wound around not being chosen. um if this resonates, please take it, because that means that this is something that spirit is really saying you got to work through. You don't want to carry this in your union. This could be a block to your union. It's a choice that you have to make. Some of you guys don't want to fully choose love and say that you really truly want it because the fear of not being chosen. You don't want, it's like, you see how that mirror works, that projection that we place on ourselves. I'm not going to choose the very thing that I actually really want because I fear not being chosen. And that's so crazy, you know what I mean, to think that. So the card says an intimate choice. There are a myriad or of possible pleasures in the arena of love. Okay, so spirit doesn't want you to limit what you have gone through and even allow your fear, because fear is just something that keeps you stuck, because it's not something that has even happened yet, if it ever happens, right? So to think about something that's not even in existence and allow that to be the factor or thing that keeps you stuck, um because your experiences may have told you in the past, see, I'm not worthy of being loved, I'm not worthy of being chosen. Those are past experiences. Those are not your reality. And I guarantee you, those connections or those situations where you weren't chosen was for your own protection. Those were not things or the people for you. Um, and sometimes it could be even your own parents. I'm getting like feeling like you were not chosen, not seen, not loved by your parents. Um, and if you really take a glance and really take a look or a deep dive into your parents, you can see in what way that they did not have the space or capacity, that it wasn't personally about you. Um, I feel like with this angel, like, you see how it's purple? This is not traditionally how the lover's card looks, that color. So your angels, I feel, communicate to you. They're showing you the possibility of what, or the type of love, or the type of, and or the type of lover that you deserve, that you can have. But it's up to you to say yes to that. Your eyes are open. It's like spirit says you see things, but sometimes that insecurity or that doubt blocks you. And this is also ruled by Mercury as well. So I'm getting, spirit speaks to you a lot. Spirit speaks to you in ways that freak you the fuck out. Like, there's no way that this can't be God. There's no way that this, like, this is not a coincidence type thing. Like, it freaks you the fuck out. And I feel, no, it's like they have to get you that way so that you trust yourself. Not just, like, I'm hearing, not just trust us, but trust yourself. Because you, like, you do, and look, the Nine of Swords, before I even get into what I'm picking up, the power of illusion, the Nine of Swords, again, your fears. the fear. You really crave a connection that where somebody chooses you not because they're forced. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be chosen in love, right? I feel like it's the energy behind the chosen aspect. Are you wanting to be chosen because you feel like you're unworthy and you need the validation to prove like I'm worthy if this person loves me? Or is it coming from a place of someone that chose me because they genuinely fuck with me? They they see me for who I am and they love me for me and they want to be with me, not because I forced their hand or not because I lowered my standards or because I chipped a part of myself away so that they could see me as more valuable, more worthy, or hide parts of myself so that I can be chosen. Which aspect of it is coming from? Because I feel like majority of you do want to be chosen in the right way. Your lower nature fears um the wound of past relationships or past situations where maybe you did perform for love or you felt like you were not enough unless certain people chose you romantically or invited you into their circles or whatever the case may be, or your parents saw you as a golden child or not. It's like those are things that come from your wounds, right? But when you're coming from your higher perspective, like you genuinely want a relationship that is fair and true and honest, that is coming from a place of integrity. So hopefully, that makes sense. Like you want somebody to choose you, like in your purity, in your you see how they're nude, right? In just who you are, with no facade, no nothing, just pure, just this is me, and vice versa. Not because it's like, oh, we have to be together. Oh, because we got kids together. Oh, we've been together for 6 years, 7 years, and 10 years. Oh, because this person bought me this, or they did that, or they were the one that always wanted me. So I gotta be no. Mm-mm, no. What was behind her? Threshold of change. Like you guys are so close. Like I feel for those that this message is for, definitely you've been doing the work. You've been patient. Some of you just fear that your work, your patience is for naught. Because like you can be somebody that's very discerning, like don't play with me, don't fuck with me. Like, yeah, I see some trust issues here. I see some trust issues. Yeah. Y'all been through some shit. Yeah. Um, I get it. I get it. I feel like you guys have gotten to a place, at least maybe, or you've always been the type of person that does not play about yourself, or you've gotten to a place where you might fear that you could push love away because of your own fears of trust, or you feel like you have to protect yourself. It's like you might put people through a test to see like how long they're gonna stick it out. you know how long is this person going how long is this person going to you know put up with me, or let me see how long this person can really stick it out. In some cases, spirit is saying that you have pushed love away purposefully or intentfully, or moving in this formula. And I feel like that does not work for you. That's not that's an extension of wounds. But spirit is also saying that when you're moving in the Queen of Swords from a healthy light, with a place of discernment but still receptivity and openness to love, and you're patient, and you also take into account a person that's not there's a difference between somebody that is waiting around to fuck you over, because like toxic people, they can be patient and wait and project and pretend that they're being patient because they're really genuinely interested, but someone's just clocking tea. They just waiting for the moment. They're collecting data on you so they can fuck you over, or projecting like, yeah, I'll wait for the sex, this is not what it's about, but that's really all they're about. Like, never discount somebody's patience. And I feel like, yeah, that's valid to wonder what someone's intentions are. But spirit's saying like someone that's truly worth the wait, because you can't fake the character. Spirit saying don't give away too much too soon either. And I feel like you guys do a good job of that. At least nowadays you don't, or you plan on not doing that. The more vulnerable you are too soon, it does open the doors for energy vampires. It's not saying like be closed off, be not open as a person, getting to know people or learning people or allowing people to know you. But there is a level of protection. Like intimacy is built over time. You can't fake that. People that are energy vampires, they know how to fake build intimacy, but they move very quickly. They don't take time to get to know you. They're already showering you with gifts or compliments. They're rushing for you to meet their friends. They're, like everything is accelerated in a way that is like it's game. They test your boundaries. They see like if I talk about other women, how are they going to respond? Or if I bring up something like you could, I just, how do I explain this? Because you do got to be discerning with people. You do. Because people can move very sneakily. I don't want anybody to think that just because somebody was patient, they weren't pushing you to have sex yet, or this person's been trying to get at you for years and you finally gave them a shot that this is the one and this is the no. Pay attention to people's energy. People play games and play in people's face all the time. And you can tell when somebody's genuine versus somebody that's playing games with you. Sneakiness, immaturity, testing you, trying to trigger you, overshowering you with gifts, over like too much flattery and things like that. And it's not something that's built. Because this is the thing that I'm picking up too. Like some connections, they do accelerate, like, but they're built. There's no, you don't feel pressure. You don't feel weird about it. Any person will tell you that when they've met their match, they're the right person for them. Both people knew that they knew it. And so their connection might have moved a little bit quicker in a sense, but not from a love bombing perspective. When you get too caught up in the emotional realm and the romantic realm, that's how you get got. Because real love is based off of true building of different levels of intimacy, not just the sex, not just the how you make me feel. You make me feel good. You make me, or you keep telling me I'm beautiful, or I'm that, I'm this. You showering me with gifts. That is not how real intimacy works. That's how a lot of people get got in love, because they want the romance too soon. We're taught that in movies, though. Like I talk about this all the time. We're taught that in movies. Boy meets girl, they bump into each other, they go out on a date, it's quirky, it's cute, then it leads to the sex and it's passionate, then they fight in, they got the climax scene where it's like, oh, we're gonna bump into each other on the subway and we bump into each other, oh, happy ending. Never do they show you the building of like really getting to know each other as people, to see if you even like each other. Because it's easy to look at a fine specimen or beautiful specimen, like, oh, he fine, oh, she bad. Like it's so easy to build off of that with anybody. Oh, you throw in a little bit of some common things like that. And then you're driven by, oh, this person makes me feel. And your mind is just out the window. It's your heart and your mind are not on the same accord. And that's what I love about the Queen of Swords, because she's air, she's mental energy, but she's also feminine energy. So she's heart and mind. You can't date with just your heart. You cannot do that. Or your desires, seeking pleasure. You can't do that. Divine unions, they represent unification. Two people that choose to be together, not off of circumstances of, you see, they ain't got no fancy shit on. She ain't got no makeup on. She ain't got no sheen on, Versace, whatever. He ain't got Rolexes and this, that. They're naked. They're stripped of all those external things. What is left is, this is who I am. You see me. I see you. There's no faking the front. There's no trying to be perfect. That's not what divine union is. There's no attachments. There's no pretension. And even if you think that you're going to be led with that, that's why I say, like, people that have it in their mind that I'm not going to meet my person until I have this, or until I look like this, until I feel like this. You're putting limitations on the connection. Who's to say, like, maybe you need to meet your person when you got a little chubby chub right here and right there, or when your money ain't looking too right now, or you still are trying to accomplish something, and spirit brings your person in to show you, I don't need all of that. I don't love you just because of that. I love you for you. You might need that. Because it's easy to be like, oh, when I'm that bad bitch that I feel like I should be when I meet my person, that then in your mind, you're going to say to yourself, oh, they just want me because I look good. When that person, it might be that, or it could be because they genuinely just love you, period. So it may be out of the circumstance, like I said, like spirit's going to align it when it's perfect, when it's best for that connection. And it may not be your level of what you think is perfection or the right time. Yeah, because I feel when you take yourself out of the battle, out of this, some of you, it is like trust issues. Because it's not going to be as hard as you think when you meet your person. I promise you, it's going to be like this click and this flow. It's just, it really is. Because I feel like when you have an inch of fear of trust of people, oftentimes you can jolt yourself back and say, that's irrational. This person has not done anything to me to even think that way. But when you're dealing with sneaky, slimy motherfuckers, you can tell. You can sense it. You know something's off. You can tell. The more authentic you are, the less likely someone is going to really like you. They might pretend to like you because they have to, but you can tell, like, when a person doesn't really fuck with you like that. It will seep through. You can tell when people don't really like you. So when you're dealing with a relationship or romantic energy and you're dating somebody that does not really like you for you, you'll know. They'll show you they don't fuck with you like that. When people really love you, you feel that, even if it's foreign to you, you've never experienced it, or, you know, um, you've never experienced genuine connection, genuine love, or people doing things for you or saying nice things just because it's genuine, not because they want something from you. It's foreign, and it will trigger that, wait a minute, is this real? But over time, consistency will show you that. When people love bomb you and play in your face, they can't keep up the facade too long because they're pretending. It's not authentic. It's not authentic. So spirit is trying to transition this collective out of this cycle of, I have to fight, I have to protect myself, I have to prove of myself, I have to compete with other people, or I there's no good pick, so I might as well pick out the funky bunch and just be like, this one's less stank than the other, this one's less stupid than this one, or this one kind of cute, at least he got money, or he ain't that cute, but he nice, but really what I want, but he's nice. Probably fake nice. Probably ain't really nice. Just faking it. Trying to pretend like he's nice. Like, don't be fooled by men that quote unquote people think are not attractive, or if he's a little chunkier or she's a little bit this or that. Don't think that. Definitely with the men, like ladies, like you date men, do not be fooled by that. Oh, he chunky, he ain't gonna hurt my feelings. There's some players, okay, that some plus size men, some big hefty men, that's some players, okay? They got game too. Don't fat shame them, because some of them got some game. Okay. Oh, he's not that cute. Definitely the ones that are not what quote unquote what you think is cute, or what people would say is not a conventionally attractive guy. Oh, those motherfuckers, they love humble and beautiful women. They love it. Oh, he's a nerd. Oh, he's safe. They love humbling your ass. They love it. Not all of them, but don't think that just because he's just this way and he's not that, no, no, don't play yourself. Okay. I this used to be an inside joke with somebody, but If you guys ever seen that movie, The Players Club, it was this guy, this nerdy guy that was like obsessed with Lisa Ray's character Diamond. And he followed that bitch home one night and he was like, I just want to make sure you get home safe. I always make sure you get home safe. Like those types, like they seem like they're nice. You got to use your discernment. Like don't play yourself and think that, oh, I'm going to just pick something. Don't settle. Basically, that's what Spirit said. Don't settle. This is a point of change right here. You got 2 5s, a 10. This 5 and 5, 10, or 1. This is a conscious decision for you to leap into new energy. That 1 and that 0. That opportunity for you to create a new pathway for you in love by breaking the pattern. Whatever that pattern is, some of you guys, it might be that you have to break through that fear. Like a part of you was fighting that shit. Like, no, we're not going to do that now. Bitch, no, we're going to stay. That sneaky voice, like, no, bitch, we're not going to do that. We're going to stay single. No, we're just going to choose. Oh, that guy, remember that one guy that was always like into you and he liked you? Yeah, maybe you should give him a chance. No, you're settling. You have to compromise yourself into thinking like, oh, maybe I should, oh, the ex is back. Maybe, no. Spirit saying it's a time of change, not a time of reverting. See the card, the sound of whispers, like that whisper. No, protect your peace. It's a sneaky energy. The 5 of Swords always reminds me of the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Swords combined. Because if you look at the cards, right? He's holding 3 swords, 2 swords up. So the 2 of Swords energy and the Ace of Swords is down. That 3 of Swords, it's like our wounds sometimes can fuck with our perception and make us question ourselves when we already know the truth. So Spirit's like, drop that confusion, that 2 of Swords energy, drop that shit, motherfucker, drop it. You're not confused. You know and you see. Yes, we went through this. This is true. This is real. The pain happened. The trauma happened. It is real. But we're not choosing from a place of wounds and trauma. We're choosing what's real, what's true, what's clear. We're choosing not just the truth of what has happened. Like when I say choosing the truth of what has happened, it's like I see what has happened to me in the past, and it's valid for me to sometimes that pain comes over me and clouds my judgment. But I'm cleansing this shit. You see that rain? I'm cleansing this energy out. I'm cleansing it out. I'm choosing to cleanse this energy out. This energy can't come with me. The signs that you'll see that either love is near, love is coming, things are shifting in your union, or you're close to a union, there's these shifts happening, is the energy of generosity in your life, because you've allowed yourself to be receptive and open. You've allowed your heart to say, yeah, this happened to me, but I choose to open up and receive. And that's the Queen of Swords energy as well. She guys her sword of truth up. She knows the truth of things, and it's also her weapon, her discernment. I'll never allow anybody to fucking play in my face ever again. But I'm still open. I'm receptive. My hand is open to receive. So the signs could be people doing kind things for you. Something maybe with your money, like more money coming in, or someone blesses you financially, or someone pays you with kindness. Some sort of level of you receiving blessings, divine favor, gifts. Feel like Spirit wants you to, however you're guided, to make a declaration around renewal. There's a scripture, but I can't think of it. It's like it could be an affirmation that you will be guided to say, or it says actually this literal scripture. I'm here. I can't put it together, but I feel like I feel it in my spirit, but I can't put it into words. Like, what scripture is this? But it has something to do with renewal, and something about like child like heart, or a heart of a child, or something about, unless you have a heart of a child, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven, or something like that. So it's like you have to have that heart, that purity, that reminder that you are loved, that you are provided for. And it's okay. Like, children don't think about the fact that they don't know everything, that they still have a whole life to learn things. Kids definitely are in the present moment, and they do trust that they are provided for, or they look to a higher source that loves them, looks for that higher source to protect them. So it's like you got to have that understanding that you are provided for, and that you have a source that does love you, that you are divinely protected. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is in our mind and in our heart. It's in our inner being. If the gates, or we think the gates of heaven are closed, it has something to do with the posture of our heart. So there is something with the heart chakra that needs to be healed, and maybe even the solar plexus, that there might be a block in those two areas, because to get to the heart, you got to go through the solar plexus first. You got to start from the bottom all the way up. So the solar plexus, if that's where you're stuck, you got to go work through that block there. I'm going to pull some oracle cards, and then I'll look at what that card is talking about. But Spirit, this energy surrounding divine unions. What's the message? Abundance. See? And then look, the windfall of money in that card. So it says give, celebration, promotion, opportunity, successful ventures. So this could be the energy that lets you know that the energy is shifting around union positively. The energy around your love life is shifting. This is energies, gifts being given, you celebrating something new, um business or opportunities come to you, promotions, but money, you have watching, gathering information, envy, trying to figure out, keeping tabs. See, spirit don't be I thought I was just talking shit a little bit when I was talking, like those examples of like those energy vampires of people. Like, spirit is saying, like, though there may be people that watch you that do not have your best intentions, or people waiting in the wings to deceive you, figure you out, you're not in your wounded space anymore. You have not feeling enough, missing someone, left out in the cold. As long as you're not dealing with your wounded energy, you cannot be played by this, because energies like this, they try to cloak themselves to be what they think you need. But if you're not giving out an energy of desperation, and you're not out here searching and looking for something, there's no way that they can come in your territory, because they don't have an angle. But when you put now, oh, I'm so lonely, I'm so depressed, and oh, nobody cares about me, they could come in and give you that based off of that playbook. Just like when a man asks you, hey, just like when someone asks you, what do you look for in a man? What are you looking for in a mate? And then you start breaking down, oh, I want somebody that's this and that's that. Like, yeah, basic things like good character, somebody that's respectful, things like that. They could fake that shit. They can fake it. They can pretend and all that. They can do all of that. But that energy, that facade will it'll break itself down. But if you're very general, like if you just say, hey, I'm just looking for, like somebody I feel like is a good person, good character, or I haven't met the right person yet, and just leave it. Or, I'm still open. I'm still, focus on myself, but I'm open to the right person. Okay. Then it kind of leaves them with I don't really have a hook line. I don't know. How can I play this? I can pretend to be the nice person. I can pretend to be of good character and see where that gets me. But like, if you know deep down inside in your heart what you deserve and what you want, especially as a spiritual person or a spiritually in tune person, spiritual woman, you know that it requires a type of mate um to be that for you. And most men don't have that, or they won't even challenge themselves, or they don't even have the capacity, because they don't even have that spiritual connectivity in themselves to even play that role for you. All they can do is just like, oh, wear some chakra beads and talk about spiritual shit and things like that. But anybody can regurgitate, anybody can like find shit online, or wear certain things, or talk about certain topics, or put fancy titles and shit on their social media platforms and things. But it's like the person has to walk in that energy, in that spirit, right? And that's easy to wean them out, because that's just performing. People can perform spirituality all day, but you cannot fake the gifts. You cannot fake the calling. You cannot fake the spiritual connectivity. You can't fake that. So as a spiritual woman, you're going to see right through that shit. That should be easy for you to read past it. I feel like a man that's overtly spiritual and does too much, they're like walking red flags to me. It takes a certain type of masculine energy to hold space for a spiritual woman, or divine feminine energy, a spiritually in tune feminine energy. It does. Like, and that's why I'm like, it should be easy to like, if you're not moving in desperation of wanting to be chosen and picked, and somebody to make your life better, or make your life everything what it is, and you're willing to just whatever, if you're not moving in that energy, it is going to be very hard for people to play in your face. They can try, because some people are really good. Like, some people have trickster spirit energy, and they know how to shape shift and things like that, to where you're almost like gaslighting yourself. But I'm telling you, I'm not even going to give it away, but I would say go within yourself, and all that you are, and who you are, and what you are. Essentially, like, it's something within you that no one else can duplicate or pretend or fake. As a spiritual woman or a spiritual person, I would say like a feminine energy, where a masculine energy or man cannot play, they can't play you, because it takes a specific type of energy signature for you personally, uniquely, because of your gift, your calling, your purpose, your path, who you are, what you've been through, that the average man cannot play in your face. They're not going to be able to use those typical games on you. Oh, hey, queen, oh, goddess. Oh, we're twin flames. We're so, like, none of that shit is going to work on you anymore. Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to move you, because your person is authentic. They're going to move in authenticity. You're going to feel that shit, and you're going to feel it. You can tell when people are performing and trying to get your attention, or trying to know that it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. So, yeah, some of you guys, the timeout, retreat, block, emotional, physical distance, I would say, because this majority of you, it feels like you're not in a divine connection. It doesn't feel like it yet, like you're there yet in one. I don't see that. um I'll do like a quick discernment check-in to see like if someone that you have in mind, like we'll tap into that. But you got the self-care energy at the bottom, low energy, depleted, cleansing, wanting time alone, recharge and retreat. This could be where you or your person is. And I didn't mean to flip this, but the south node came out. So yeah, some of you guys, you have to let go of your past energy. And then look, past suffering. Yeah. See, yeah. Y'all gonna have to let it go. Let that energy go because it's not serving you. I'm gonna put these to the side. I'm gonna pull some more before we get into the discernment part of it. What else, Spirit, for this collective? Desire. Desire is fueling your connection, but emotionally and physically, it represents a craving for closeness and mutual goals. Yeah. So it's not just about the physical, it's not just about the emotional energy. But some of you guys might be feeling like sexual like desires, maybe not like for a specific person, but just desiring that intimacy, especially if you've been abstaining from, that. It's really a desire for connection. Okay, you have sacrifice. You are willing to make the sacrifices for love, putting aside your own needs to support the growth of the relationship. So this is the ego. Um, Putting aside the ego. Not saying like putting aside your morals and values for the sake of just being in a relationship. No, that's not what this is. This is coming from a place of your ego, your lower self. Um, Doing what it takes for you guys to come together and work together, whether that's fears, whether that's your insecurities, putting that all to the side. Let's see, what's the energy? Hold on, I caught it. Yay. Self-love, ravenous, and clown. Yeah, there's still a little bit of a wound here for some where Spirit saying you still have to work through some sort of self-love. So it says acceptance, self-treatment, intentions, and self-awareness. With the Ravenous card, it says insatisfied. Oh, can't even say it. Lord, forgive me. Uncontrollable desires must have hunger for pleasure. Clown, appearance, humiliation, and feeling ashamed. So this could be releasing the shame around relationships. Like you have to accept yourself. There may have been times where you wanted something so badly, so deeply, you didn't care what the signs were telling you, what they were showing you. This could be literally a raven or something that was a heads up or an omen showing you that something or someone was not for you. But because you wanted it so bad, you might feel like you played yourself. You got to forgive yourself for that. You have to forgive yourself. Let me clear the table. I'm going to leave this one card out because we haven't revealed it yet. So I'm going to ask the question for anyone that's trying to discern whether somebody is, the person, I guess, aligned for them. Let's see what Spirit says. Spirit, clear this energy. Ask for divine discernment here. The person in question for the collective, it might be many energies, so we'll see. Does this person's spirit align with divine partnership, or are they just karmic or someone for shadow work? This lesson of this connection, Spirit, what is it? What's the lesson? If this person is not the one, what is this connection here to show or teach? Wow, a lot of cards. Okay. All right. If not them, how close is this collective to the doorway of meeting their actual divine counterpart, Spirit? Wow. Okay. I don't want to take all these cards. 4 cups. It feels like Spirit is offering love to somebody. The stillness of love. It's like, yeah, if you were to truly be still, because I feel like you guys do have options. Some of you guys might have maybe more than one person in mind, but Spirit is like, it may not be the people that you think or the person. It's kind of what I'm getting, but let's see. Okay. No, Ten of Swords. No. Someone that you have in mind is not the person. You have in the moonlight. Um, I'm hearing that Kanye West song, Heartless. Somebody that I feel like may have led you into dark places within yourself, or someone that spirit is, I'm getting, protecting you from somebody that is in darkness. This person, ooh, this person is leading to their own destruction, and it's like spirit saying this is not the person for you. Some of you guys, this person is lives a dangerous lifestyle. This is not for everybody. I feel like this is definitely specific. Um, not the whole, not the majority, but for someone maybe, or a few. If you're dealing with somebody that is in living a dangerous, reckless life or something, that is not your person. This person very well, I don't know what type of demise, but there's something harmful in this person's future. I feel like spirit doesn't want you to even be connected to this person. Like you will know, you'll know. This isn't like something that someone's just telling you, like you gotta have some discernment, right? So if you know that you're dealing with someone that lives a dangerous lifestyle, or this is somebody that already does not have a healthy relationship with themselves, this is not your person. Spirit is trying to get you away from them. This person's energy just has death all over it, and maybe not physical death, but like just the death of positive things, opportunities, favor. No, this is not, no. I can say 100% with my chest that most of you, this is a karmic connection, a dark energy, a shadow work type of vibe. This person may represent who you used to be but no longer, or certain things that you bonded over or connected over were based off of past energies, parts of yourself that spirit is saying are no more, that might have been self-sabotaging, destructive patterns or behaviors or thoughts about yourself. Like this person's connected to that, and this is not your person. Fuck no. Mm-mm. Yeah, this person was a lesson. You got the King of Wands. This person could be very attractive. Someone that is fun, exciting, somebody maybe that's popular, somebody that definitely gets attention for sure. Um, could be a fire sign, a Sagittarius, specifically with the Temperance. You also have the Knight of Wands. This is a person that I feel like probably did you the worst, did you the dirtiest, the grimiest, or taught you your greatest lessons around love, which is why you see now, you have that clarity, that truth, that discernment. Or I walk with my discernment. I walk with that divine protection. Though I'm open, I'm not foolish though. This person could have taught you to choose wisely in love. Be careful of the opportunities that present themselves to you, type thing. Because this person is very tempting. And for some of you, this person is going to come back around for someone. I don't know. You might feel like you have a past life with this person in Egypt, or some sort of past life with this person, or you have past dealings with them in this life. Like this is an old energy. This person is someone from your past, someone that you thought was your one, maybe. And for some of you, this is like an archetype. Even if it's somebody that you're questioning here in the now, that you might be dealing with or interested in or in a situation with, they remind you of somebody from your past or your youth. There's an archetype, there's an energy. This is, for some of you, oh no, Spirit said for a lot of you, your type, or your like an archetype that this person represents is an ancient energy. This person either literally is someone that you had a past life with, or like some old ancient. If not, because some of you might be like, what the fuck, bitch? I don't subscribe to past lives. I don't subscribe to that. This could be like someone in your youth, like your first love, ancient type vibe, like old connection. And you've been chasing this type ever since. Like you might be chasing the validation of this person. And this is what gets you caught up, because it's like, um, yeah, this needs to be cleansed the fuck out. Secret pleasures lie at the end of the rainbow. It's like you believe that this is going to lead to a promise, or you used to believe that this was going to lead to a promise. Um, but whatever this energy represents, it's very fleeting. It's very passionate. That's why you're drawn to it. It's exciting. It's like the guy in the 50s movies that you, um, in the 50s movies that rides a motorcycle and smokes the cigarettes with the leather jacket, and the good girl is like riding off in the sunset with his ass. Like some of that shit, like, yeah, it might be real, bad boys turn good, but some of that is like, that's a fantasy. And that's a trick, I feel like, for a lot of women to open their heart, the gates of their hearts to um energies. I want to say rebellious, but not rebellious in a sense of sovereignty, but rebellious in like a dark sense, a negative sense of somebody that is a lawless individual. They have no morals, they have no values, they don't give a fuck, they don't care type energy. And it's like, that's like, oh, that's lively. This person don't give a fuck, they just do what they want to do. But it's like, that's destructive behavior in a sense, rather than it being like someone that's sovereign. Like, I don't need people to tell me how to run my life. I have, clarity and truth about myself. I move in wisdom, but I'm not reckless though. I'm prudent about my future dealings in life. This person is just like live now, laugh now, cry later, like destructive person. They have no intentions for the future. You can't build with someone like this. It's a fantasy to think that you could build with someone like this. They have no direction in life. They're lost. And like, this is not a match for the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords will look like, should be in her right mind, looking at this person as like selfish, immature, reckless. It's like, what do you bring to the table? Oh, I bring this dick. I bring these good looks. I bring this. You see me. You see what I got on, bitch. You see what I got on. And she like, okay, and what else? You don't know how many bitches I got with this. Like, you see, it's big. Yeah, I bet you he could fuck the hell out of you. Like, yeah, probably. Demon dick time. Yeah, I bet. But what else do you bring to the table? Because I don't feel like this person has anything to bring to the table. It's like, cleanse this energy, transmute this energy, choose wisely. This energy, this Libra season, this Libra energy is Mayat energy. It says, where is there to do with all of your romantic notions? Where is this going to lead me? Truthfully, this energy is like, no, I'll get back to that, because it's like something wants to come, but it's not coming out. No. So it's not this person. So we're going to get into the timeline. This deck has a lot of misprints. 2 King of Wands. So I had to make one the Queen of Wands. So we're going to use this as the Queen of Wands. The Knight of Cups, the timing. The timing is not based off of like man-made time, like seasons and hours and minutes and days and years and weeks. It's not based off of that. I feel like the timing of like how close you are to the doorway or the meeting of your actual divine counterpart is not as far as you think. I mean, if I had to look at this from a, like, the pentacles to me might be like a long energy, but I feel like because of all the other cards, it's like they dominate over the earth energy. For like earth is one of those long times, periods, you know. If you've been single for 4 years, that could be significant. I feel like you're going to start seeing a lot of fours and a lot of threes and a lot of twos if you haven't already. Your person is definitely going to enter your life at a time where you feel like you're not ready. With the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, you're going to feel like you're not ready. Yeah, you're going to feel like you're not ready when it's presented to you. And there's another four. So you have 4, 4, 4, triple four. This person is going to come in. I feel like this person is going to come in sooner than you think, actually. This is going to happen very soon. This is a portal, too. So, like, the Four of Wands to me is the 1111 card. And then you also have the Two of Wands, which is also a portal, like an 11. When I see 11s, anytime I see 11s, that is a portal of creation, or even some sort of spiritual awareness of some sort. You're going Spirit saying you're gonna know that's your person. You're gonna know. Telling you, you're going to know. Ace of Swords for sure. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, to me, we have to make him the Queen of Wands because there's no Queen of Wands in this deck. Like I said, it's a misprinted deck. They have two of him in here. So I'm getting like a confident knowing. Okay. And it double meaning. This is also the King of Wands still. So both of you are going to feel that inner knowing, like that's my person. Without a shadow of a doubt. This is confidence. Inner knowing. Like, yeah. Y'all know, like if you've ever met like Aries people or any fire sign, typically they're like very confident when they're healthy, and they're cocky and like uh self-centered when they're in their lower nature, but nonetheless they believe in themselves. So that's why I'm kind of getting like, you are going to know when you meet your person. Both of y'all you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt. You're going to know. And it's not as far as you think. It's not. I feel like this might sound like a stretch for some, but like with a wave of like some of you within 4 months, or maybe even sooner than that. Spirit is saying like, just be ready. And what I mean by just be ready is not like you have to like speed up and do this, like be this perfect person, but like, you, if anything, be ready. Be ready within your inner being to receive this, to simply just receive within your heart space. Like your whole intention should be to be open to this and receiving of it. And if there's something inside of you that does not feel that you're deserving of it, or even if you can't see how it's going to happen and when and where and how and who, that's not your concern. But what is your concern is, are you receptive to receive it? Even in the moment or time that you feel like you're not enough or you should do something. It's not saying that you shouldn't, like if you want to make sure you look nice or look your best, that you shouldn't focus on those things or give to that. But don't let that be the trap in your mind until this, because you can push things away by saying until this happens or until that. You don't get to dictate how the law of attraction brings things in. You just have to be vibrationally in alignment, meaning you believe that you're deserving of it and that it is coming and that it is yours already and that it exists for you. That's it. And just be present in your life, move and flow, and be receptive and be open. That's it. Because it can come at any moment, at any time. Five of Cups. Okay. What Spirit is saying, like, what's being birthed in this energy with the Five of Cups, the return of the abandoned. you're going to have people, and I've been getting this prophecy for so long, that a lot of people, you're going to have a season where people return back into your life to apologize. Some people may be even trying to reconcile with you. And these are people that have hurt you. And I feel like spirit is just kind of trying to see and test and see how you handle this energy. And I want to look at this here. These three cups here. Spirit is offering you something. It's like, how are you going to handle these three cups that have spilled? Because I have something for you. I have something for you. I have a union for you. Are you going to accept your person? Because these people that have hurt you, or that these connections that you have lost, or that broke you, or that people that have abandoned you, or that you may have had to walk away from, are you going to allow this energy to block your blessing from you receiving your person? Because all of this was necessary for this union to happen. Like, if this is the thing about divine wisdom sometimes, is that, how do I explain this? We look at things sometimes as like bratty, spiritual brats, where we say things like, oh, why did God do this to me? Why is this happening? And sometimes it's just because if you didn't go through the shitty people, like, how would you learn anything? Right? It's like, it's very juvenile to think that life is just always going to be the smooth sailing journey, especially if you believe that earth is a school, right? So if it's a school, you learn lessons, right? To evolve. If you think about life, like, why didn't God just create everything so perfect? And there's things that I question, like, that happen in the universe, like certain shitty things. Why are kids born with cancer and things like shit that really just blows my mind? Why is there such deviance on the planet? And like, every spiritual any spiritual base of something or religion, there's always a light and shadow to everything. There's always a protagonist and an antagonist in every story, or every spiritual or mythology, whatever shit, yin and yang. But it's the balance of shadow and light. Also, when people say things like fuck love and oh fuck men, fuck women, you can't counsel one without the other. There's a polarity that's needed. Hey sis, how are you? So the new wave of divine partnerships, they're not going to be built on us chasing. They're not going to be built on playing these games and proving our worth to somebody. These are purposeful driven connections. So they are meant to be healing centered and legacy oriented. So literally, like, when I talk about divine unions, like, really, these couples, they do embody a ministry. Their love literally is a ministry. It's not a distraction. It's not meant to be this fairy tale fantasy chasing thing. Like, that's not what it is, you know? And I want to go back to just discerning that person. Like, if you're questioning whether a specific person was your one right now, I want to leave you with this. So, a true counterpart, they might be imperfect. 9 times out of 10, yes, we're going to be imperfect beings. That is what it is. But their spirit will consistently pull you closer to alignment, pull you closer to your path, your divine purpose, to God, your spiritual uh ground, right? They're not going to drain that part of you. They're not going to drain you or drain that source of energy. That's how you know you're sleeping with the enemy, when they take you off out of alignment with source God. Your person should always bring you back to center, back to self, and back to source God. Like, they should always be that alignment for you. Spirit does not waste connections. So like, every person, every individual, anyone that you've ever met, dated, liked, whatever, points you back into the energy of preparation. So no connection is wasted. It's always going to return back to, or should be, a place, a source, or a foundation of your healing, of your spiritual awareness, awakening, your seeking of connectivity within yourself, your path, your source, God, in preparation for divine union. And then as far as timelines go, I know I mentioned the time a little bit, not too specific, because I feel like everybody's different, but I will say this, that I do feel this very confidently for those that this message is genuinely for, that it is very sooner than you think. But um every time you choose alignment over attachment, you are always going to be one step closer to your union. Believe that. Every time you choose alignment over attachment, the closer you are. Because when you're moving from a place of attachment, you prolong that process by dealing with things, people, places, and fixating on that so long that you're not able to just move along your path. That distraction. I'm gonna draw a picture. Don't judge my drawing, because it's ashy, child. It's gonna be ashy now. It's gonna be ashy. Let's say this, right? Let's say this is you. I'm going to draw a little stick figure, right? That's you. This is the path to your person that's over here waiting on you too. Look, they over here. Okay. Let's give them some spikes. Okay. Let's give them some spikes. Let's give you some curly tendril. If you're a guy, girl, you can flip it, whatever. Right? Or man, and woman. Make it fix. Make it work now. Okay. We're going to work together. I should have just kept them as just stick figures with no hair. But anyway, let's say this is the path to them. It's clear, right? But then homeboy, homegirl comes, right? With the leather jacket and the motorcycle. Here they come. Or the bad bitch with the cigarette in her mouth, right? And you go, attachment, let me attach. Then you prolong the years, or the time, the months, the days, the weeks. Whereas the path could have been just as simple as like, I'm not choosing attachment. I choose connection. We're both connected. Might seem a little lonely on the path if you don't have those distractions there. But honestly, the closer you are to union when you don't have those distractions, because attachments are just distractions for real. So, yeah. In closing, y'all, if you guys would like your own divine counterpart readings, like I said, they are on sale for a limited time. I will leave the link in the description and in the chat. Y'all should be able to see it. I'll also leave it pinned in the comment section. But love is not a distraction, y'all. Okay. It is the very foundation that spirit is rebuilding the world right now. So if you've questioned whether you met your person, spirit just wants you to trust in the fruit, not the fantasy. This person must show you, they must be producing something. It's like a connection without growth is really just a connection of just death. There's no life in it. If it sucks the life out of you, if it makes you sad, it makes you miserable. Sometimes we can make our own selves sad and miserable by fixating on something that the other person might be just living their life. They're not doing anything to you, but it's like, it has to be them. This must be them. It's got to be my person. You make yourself miserable, or being with someone that is contributing to misery in your life, right? That's never going to be your person. I don't care how we try to twist it. That's a twisted way to think that somebody that harms you loves you. That's not how it works. So divine partnerships, they are forming. They've been forming. They're forming now. They'll continue to form. And those that stay in alignment in their truth within self, their faith, and their preparation, you'll walk right into your union. I'm telling you, you're just going to walk into it. There's no games. There's no premeditation with that. I'm telling you. You think that, oh, I'm going to go to the bar and I'm going to bump into so-and-so and then your person might be on the way to the bar, like at the gas station, and you weren't even looking for each other and y'all hit it off. Like that's how the divine will work. It's not going to be when you're planning for it and trying to force your hand, because then you can't say that it's God. All you can say is that, oh, I manipulated that. I planned that. Oh, I went on a dating site and I swiped left. And in some cases, because my good friend met her husband in a place that she was like, bitch, I don't want to be on no dating site, but she was guided to. And there's no chance like she could have met her husband the way that their locations were set up. There is no way. That was God. And that's what I'm saying with I don't want to discount the social media and dating thing, social what do you call it, dating site thing. But again, use your discernment, and it comes with flow, not with force and not manipulation. So remember I was saying in the beginning of the reading, something with the air, Mercury energy. There's like things that can be manipulated in a way you're like, how the fuck did that happen? Like they're in totally different places. Like he's in one country, she's in another. She doesn't have that location set on to meet people from other places. So how they met was like, it was nothing but God. Nothing but God. None of the men in her area were like hitting on nothing. Like she was open to dating other people and stuff like that, but nothing was happening. And she met her husband off that site, and it was just like, how the fuck did we find each other on here? Like, how did that happen? Things like that. Your hand is not in it completely. You'll be led. That's where the co-creation with divine, with the universe comes in. Is like you'll be led to certain things, but like the greater whole, or the whole pieces of the puzzle, as they say, prophecy is told in parts. You might be guided to book a flight to go to Spain for fun, or travel abroad, or to study, and that's what's on your mind, and you think that's all that it is, but you can meet your partner there. You never know. Or sitting in a class that you were guided to take. You just never know. And I feel like that's how spirit is going to work it out. It's not going to be premeditated. Trust me, it's not. All right, y'all. I hope this message was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I'm sending y'all much love. Y'all be blessed, be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night, your day, your evening, wherever you guys are. And until the next one, peace.